So like really matters to good and is that the Gaara will definitely be coming out of that half ball of sand right away as like into like just like a sand spirit form. It's definitely giant sand spirit form. Definitely the scenario that ended with all the things. So like definitely for Gaara, I'm not definitely for Gaara to transform into like giant acting giant sand spirit form like basically while at that point Gara would be fully controlled by Gara like Mata, who would be like that spirit, dark and villainous kind of that script to get up in the script of um, script of Gara mother that was like yeah, this her death was like might have definitely been like the cause of like the Gaukya gets performing some sort of like forbidden jutsu, which might have caused her this myself was like Gara's mother to die and that she died straight away for her steps as well. She turned into like this villain and dark that spirit is definitely went on the Remagan. And the Gaziage might have played that spirit also Gara and that and might also the revelation that like that same spirit like that villain and spirit of Gara's mother would be what precisely this and that and would have been like even to the Navira since that day like that sunset was placed by the Gandhara like to like the Sunday like it might have been precisely that sunset alone that might be controlling Gara. It's definitely what I'm bringing. So like I was different Gara definitely to like eventually defeat Sasuke, but like I was different after that like Gara having a fight with Naruto and in that fight like considering by the time Naruto will be like totally overpowering initially finally struggling Spain to like eventually overpowering and defeating Gara at that point. Upon the parting ever since like the Sanskrit was like placed into Gara. So since then like this might be like that very first time that Gara was even the losing in the fight. It's definitely not in the joke. Like I'm considering of that defeat of Gara from Naruto that to totally create that extreme shock in Gara. And through that shock is then is how the parting Gara maybe being able to like return back maybe like the transfer through that rock might temporarily get off. So like at that point I was to bring the actual fruit being able to like come out and basically to be able to like realize like what's going on in this game. And basically like that fruit Gara will be having like totally a different personality from like Gara when who is like controlled by the sense there is just a being a person to energy. So like uh, so that like totally different personalities are like totally shops in other kind of is also like where the kid and like it's a scenario that I'm different and I'm different that Gara from that day on like basically deciding that if he shouldn't that and she shouldn't like let and not even once more like he shouldn't at all that his like villainous spirit within him control him but like basically it's not like the same spirit that should control Gara, but like it's Gara that should be able to like control the same spirit. Gara basically after his defeat was like against like Naruto and delivering Gara to like only move forward to with like that determination to learn to basically train extra hard to like be able to like control the same spirit. Definitely, so I think like Gara also would be like realizing that is really no matter how badly Gara might want to like get rid of the Islam spirit, like Gara won't be able to like get rid of the Islam spirit within it. So that might be the situation for Gara, especially when looking to the evidence. But the thing that to be like the same situation for Naruto as well in that area alone. That you know, even if like no matter none of the ninjas out there would be like no matter how strong they would be having like some sort of like this unique truth or powers that would be able to like get like the specific mental box out of time or remove specific mental box out of Naruto, definitely Naruto into so the different same situation in that area and also with being for Shara as well. Is definitely Naruto into the animation. So and also told my personal impression that like right now like Gaara is like covered in its like half full of sand like I'm considering that but like this eye basically showing up about I'm considering that eye will be precisely intended precisely because my personal impression that like Gaara even covering himself with like that half ball of sand might have been precisely to like protect Gaara while uh, because like it would take like the jutsu required for Gaara to transform into like the giant spirit form. Like basically, it would take it would require a lot of time It's definitely my personal direction. Like a lot of time of like exciting, like it will be like a long day so that Gaara would have performed, for Gaara to transform himself into like the giant spirit forms that never was damaged. So like since that a lot of time might be required, like to protect Gaara until that point. And like that's the reason for Gaara right now in like the present current, like basically covering himself with like that hard ball of sand. It's definitely not a good invention. And him like placing one of the eye in the and one of the eye basically appearing in like the sky will be precisely intended for Gaara to like precisely watch over like watch Sasuke precisely as to like what Sasuke would be up to like precisely as like Gaara would be like precisely within that like half ball of sand would be like reciting just like a long jutsu Sanskrit jutsu like so until that time that is a repetition and execution of that jutsu is over like basically until all that long time is taken like basically for Gaara to like ensure Gaara's perfection and so that like Gaara could be prepared no matter what kind of risk that Sasuke will be like possibly pulling up uh, like would be like the precise and sole reason for like the eye appearing above um, the hard ball of sand. It's definitely my person to the impression. Okay, so like definitely the impression right now with like subject only traveling into attack towards like a bar of like half ball, huge ball of sand. Like I'm also putting like right now I'm also remembering like Sasuke only like launching multiple attacks on like that are ball of sand. But like I'm considering initially it was not just attack to like not to but just like a damage to like that ball of sand. But like I'm considering as like my purpose like I'm considering Sasuke keeping on repeatedly on backing down and keeping on like repeatedly using all sorts of like powerful attack and with like hidden more greater and greater intensity with like increasing the intensity of Sasuke's attack each time. And I was wondering eventually for Sasuke to not only succeed and like the ball of sand like actually starting to like take damage and then like okay like keeping on going and basically eventually like the ball of sand like it slowly breaking apart and opening up. But like I'm considering by the time Sasuke will be making it to that point, like at that precise last second, I'm considering Gaara's like long, extremely long, forbidden to which would definitely like a forbidden to like precisely uh, turn Gaara into like the actual giant sand spirit form of Gaara. That Jutsu will be finding the complete at that very last second. That's how they would get like destroying like the cannonball barrier of Gaara. It's the flame of the range. So like at that very last second, as like Sasuke would be about to land and finally would be about to land his attack on Gaara. At that very last second, Gaara this straight away transforming into like the giant Sanskrit and basically that transformation process like basically sending Sasuke flying was like the scenario that I'm looking at. And from that point on, I'm personally going to bring Sasuke to only like jar of like power, and it's like strength and power levels are going to like sharply rise to the greater level. It's definitely going to be changed. And from that point on, I'm going to bring Sasuke to like seriously struggle to hold his own against Gaara. It's definitely going to be changed. And yet, like I'm going to bring still Sasuke giving it like absolute best that he is still like trying out all sorts of like attacks against like Gaara's giant transcripts there. And then basically maybe Sasuke even like attempting to like pull out one of his like jutsu at that point. One or two of his jutsu at that point is like definitely not consideration. But like since like Sasuke in this entire time haven't like used any of the jutsu at all, like I'm considering two of them this maybe like Kakashi might have totally this past month where Kakashi might have only trained Sasuke to be able to like perform his jutsu, but like I'm going to bring so that like, without like letting like the mark of Orochimaru take control of friend and take control of Sasuke's body, that Sasuke might actually be able to like use all the jutsu, but like I'm going to bring that might have been like kept as like a surprise according to the Sasuke's strategy for Gaara, and that might be the potential reason for like maybe it might be according to like Sasuke's strategy, Sasuke might have wanted to give that fake impression so that to eventually give that ultimate unexpected surprise with like Sasuke eventually pulling out all of the truth. So it's definitely also like a possibility that I'm considering. Maybe might have been Sasuke's own strategy to like precisely let on Gaara that basically And that the other thing that basically Sasuke's situation is exactly like how Sasuke back when like Sasuke fought in like the preliminaries of the fight in like the preliminaries of the like when Sasuke couldn't actually use any of the situation like basically right now Sasuke could possibly could use all of the jutsu yet like Sasuke might have been patiently like not deciding not to use any of the tools so just so that like Gaara would totally assume that Sasuke still can't use any of the tools. So that like eventually one Sasuke will totally pulling out the like tools. So when Sasuke would feel that the time is right to like all of the tools. So like at that point to totally have Gaara totally like not expecting that and that we haven't like guard down. Basically that possibly being surprised is also my incident. So that's only one possibility that I'm different. The other possibility like genuinely even after like the entire month has passed with like Kakashi training Sasuke, even then like Kakashi might have not been able to like figure out a way to like sharply increase Sasuke's will to the point of being able of making it possible for Sasuke to also be able to like see his, all of us to progress like the mark of Orochimaru being present in Sasuke. Which definitely my perspective. So like that's the scenario then I'm differing one like Jara will be transforming into like giant sand spirit. Then about the brain not much at all. Sasuke being able to like do against Jara like giant sand spirit form sideways because of like Sasuke. Even with this like extreme speed Sasuke is having right now, still Sasuke without being able to like this any of his to like basically totally being outmatched by Jara the oral strength and power of like an extremely high defense which like Jara once like Gara will be transforming into its like giant sense, but like Gara won't be even requiring any sort of like any sort of like high level skill or anything. Like Gara will be having that extreme sharp raise in his like defenses that way the speed wouldn't even be lack of that much of a necessity for Gara to even protect himself to step in the revolution. That way like basically Gara totally overpowering this like giant sense to perform like totally overpowering and defeating Sauske without Sauske being able to like do much at all at that point. Just with considering like the scenario in which like Sauske actually doesn't even to this point is still not being able to like use any of his left jutsus. It's my personal theory and prediction. Yeah, so like definitely my personal theory and prediction right now with like Sauske basically removing like the bandages on his left arm and basically about to like launch some sort of an attack. Like especially in terms of that like that attack will definitely only be a Kaido. So especially my person to but it definitely won't be neither against Genjutsu or like an Ninjutsu, especially my person to So like I'm considering it would be like certainly like punch like kind of like attack. It's definitely my person to while like the lowest technique of like roughly it's totally mainly for it's basically like all about kicks, like basically enhancing like typically enhancing like the power of kicks, that not only skill but also like the power of like uh so like my personal impressions are like in the case of like Rockly and considering even though Rockly has like the ultimate lotus technique, still my personal impressions that like Rockly while attacking Rockly would be like the strongest in when it comes to like kick rather than punches, especially my personal impression. But like right now with like Sasuke basically pulling out this like bandages on his like left arm and also putting like it to like most likely other than bandages and also putting there would definitely be weights present definitely my personal opinion. So like I'm also putting Sasuke pulling out the bandages and even removing those weights. It's definitely the scenario that I'm also putting and that way the extreme maybe that way by pulling out like that weight might have been like totally dragging down like the actual original space the space like Sasuke could like pull out a punch using that stamp of Sasuke this entire time is continuing at this point. So like I'm referring like kind of like a similar situation to like Rock Lee where like Rock Lee had mainly pulled out weights from his feet like I'm referring Sasuke pulling out weights from his like left arm, you know, and basically at that point, like last year, those different Sasuke is like Sasuke is basically the power, ultimate power and face with which like feel with which like Sasuke would be able to like swing his like left arm and punch with his left arm would be like seriously sharply rising, especially in other things. But like I'm personally think like it would be definitely some sort of a taijutsu, like unique kind of a taijutsu, which like Kakashi might have only invented, or like Kakashi might have known, but like this and that time, but might have like if even from like the past might have, but might have only not revealed to like or told to like guys and that all. It might be like a technique that doesn't have any sort of a recoil, like a serious consequence of like a recoil, like the lotus technique and so different. But it won't be maybe it won't be as strong as like the lotus technique, but it might be like nearly as strong as like the lotus technique. And I'm considering it would be definitely punch with like the left arm of Sauske, but like it would be some sort of like a unique technique, a taijutsu technique that's like totally different from like the lotus technique, which like Akashi would have like this past month would have definitely taught Sasuke. It's definitely not a way. So like either that technique might be something that Kakashi might have already known from way back and not taught guys and say, or like it might have been a technique that Kakashi himself might have totally invented uh, in like the past, in just like the past month, 1 month time period, and might have thought last year. It's like it could be like one of these because of this discipline or this trainers. So like I'm preparing right now for like last year, removing his bandages and basically preparing himself, and I'm also preparing for that. If it, since like last year revealed that that as well will be taking time, like I'm also preparing for it to be most likely maybe like a scenario in which like Sasuke is like that whole that unique technique which like Akashi might have taught Sasuke, like using that technique like the Sasuke is like I'm preparing maybe even an aura being formed around Sasuke like left arm, and like I'm preparing it would I'm considering for it to be like a fighting technique in which like the more Sasuke punches with like left arm, like the more each and every single time like the intensity and strength of like that punch of like Sasuke like increasing more and more. That would be along the lines that how Ambos Departing for like Sasuke's like left arm punch, which Ambos Departing would be like that the Sasuke would be currently about to launch on Gaara would be working instantly during the time. Like so like the intensity of like that punch like increasing with each time the punch is thrown with like the final punch having like the ultimate exceptional power, which will be definitely the levels of power that can actually destroy like Gaara's like current ball, hard ball of like a sand barrier. It's definitely not going to be very useful. So, and then that's like what I'm just totally putting right now. Sasuke is really removing his bandages and like pulling out that technique and basically using that technique. Sasuke is really repeatedly punching on like the hard ball of sand of Gaara. And initially those punches like not doing any damage at all, but like as like Sasuke repeatedly continues with that throwing that punch on like that ball of sand, like I'm was preparing precisely like that sand barrier like taking more and more damages and basically eventually like with like that Sasuke getting enough time to like throw that final left arm punch which would be totally destroying and shattering that ball of sand of like Gaara. But like precisely at that moment I'm totally only something like Gaara like this as well will be like totally complete. So like I'm considering Sakya only using that punch, like only being able to like shatter that sand ball barrier, like but like right and with like Gara for the uh completing his duty and like transforming into like the giant and spirit, like the scenario that I'm talking right now in the rain version. Okay, so like definitely not in the rain version right now with those like great number of mango black ops like basically running around like it's like high pace like basically right outside like the Chinnex and arena in like the forest. Like I'm considering like those what they would be doing would be like part of like their drill or like they would be like only scouting around like as part of like the orders or like their duty as like the Ando Black Ops. Like, first of all, they would be like original genuine Ando Black Ops of like the village. All of them among the great number of Ando Black Ops that's like right currently right now outside of like the stadium. So in the forest, like they would all be genuine Ando Black Ops of like believe that it's definitely one of the but like I'm different one of those one among the and the Black Ops again sensing something to be precisely Orochimaru's like henchmen, strong henchmen, like basically precisely tracking them down and precisely coming out of them, precisely blame them because like this will be precisely part of like Orochimaru's strategy to like basically get just like strong henchmen to like infiltrate into like the stadium arena and eventually be that way infiltrate and precisely be prepared precisely at that precise point when Orochimaru will be like making this like move and basically the attack will be launched on like the new village by like the sound as well as like the sand village like it'll be precisely at that point like basically to basically participate in that attack. Like basically, Orochimaru's like strong henchmen would be like top like branch of like strong henchmen of like the sound village would be precisely like the precise way they are right now heading towards like the Unexam arena and like precisely for like how exactly they will be infiltrating into like that stadium arena and also bringing it to be precisely through the precise strategy of Orochimaru, which will be precisely to like take the life of all the genuine and the black of like the Nicolas. Definitely Orochimaru would be like well and fully like Orochimaru might have only studied like and might and hence might have only been well and fully aware that basically precisely as like the third phase of the June exam would be taking like definitely the and the black of like the majority of the and the black of like and those like of like the new village would be like outside. Like there would definitely be a great number of rainbow black of like the new village that would be like doing the for scouting like right outside like the forms in like the stadium. So that would probably be Orochimaru might have strategized to like precisely have like henchmen precisely track them down and stealthily attack them, assassinate and basically like disguise themselves as like that way as like and go black of actually village and they feel it that way, them being able to like infiltrate into like the stadium arena. So that like precisely as like Orochimaru will be making his move, like they would be like audience fully ready to like together launch their attack on like the village, all the henchmen being ready that way. It's definitely my personal opinion. So like this is exactly what I'm considering right now to definitely without much delay to happen to all those and the black option like the pop is definitely my personal impression right. Okay, so like the feeling of the impression right now with like the Sand Village teaser like expecting like the signal to launch for like the Sand Village to like launch their attack along with like Sand Village on like the liquid that signal to like come any moment like I think not having a proper idea to like when exactly that signal might even come and all that basically. So like definitely the scenario that I'm only getting right now is definitely for Gaara. I feel like probably right now without much delay like Gaara. Sasuke is like right now Sasuke pulling out some sort of like a taijutsu, but still like with all that effort like basically still Sasuke even though Sasuke's jutsu will be powerful still it would be like no match once like Gaara would be transforming into those like giant sunset form like the scenario that I'm describing that way that Gaara totally eventually only overpowering and defeating Sasuke without Gaara taking not even much of a damage at all from all of Sasuke's attack at all. It's like the scenario that I'm describing. Once like Gaara was coming to like sense that like basically like Sasuke won't be taking not even any sort of like a remote damage at all, no matter what kind of attack Sasuke or Jutsu that Sasuke, I Jutsu that Sasuke will be pulling out against like Gaara is definitely the scenario that I was developing that like so I'm preferring once like Gaara would be defeating Sasuke, like straight away with that like definitely the first round of like the tournament, third phase of the next tournament will be over and I'm preferring then without much great delay, I'm preferring like the second round of like the tournament to begin and like the second round I'm preferring most likely begins straight away with like the fight, the very first fight in like the second round of like the tournament, to next tournament I'm preferring it to be most likely the Naruto versus Gaara fight. And I'm also putting in that fight like as necessarily as like Naruto being eventually stagnant faint like eventually off scoring and defeating even the giant Sanskrit of Gaara against him. Sasuke had lost like basically Naruto still like overpowering and defeating that giant Sanskrit. And that way like basically at that point being like at that point find basically like the finally the whole hierarchy with like the protagonist like proving to be like stronger than his like absolute front rival like Sasuke. Basically that way that being like the point where like the hierarchy being formed between like Naruto and Sasuke was like Naruto proving to be currently proving to be at that point proving to be like stronger than Sasuke. And that way Naruto only defeating Gaara is like the scenario that I'm also bringing. But like I'm also putting to be precisely at that point. Precisely as like Naruto, the point where like Naruto will be defeating Gaara and that fight the judge will be declaring Naruto as like the winner. At that very point is when I'm going to totally the ring of the signal to precisely uh, get. signal to precisely happen, and they leave straight away like the sand village around the sound village launching the attack on actually to this Orochimaru making his move. All of this happening, and those doing not like happening precisely at at the point where the Naruto will be defeating Gaara and like the referee would be like declaring Naruto as like the winner. At that very second, and when I was declaring like Orochimaru should actually make his move and like the signal to happen. Definitely, we're putting the way and yes, so like definitely my person the way I'm person right now, it's obviously, even though he might not show it, like he might genuinely be passionate about what genuinely is totally passionate about wanting to be achieving. So definitely not the thing right now. So like maybe like might have seeing like Gaara's like unique fighting style and powers like maybe like might have totally even and especially since like had like the first time had even seen Gaara itself during like the Gaara in battle itself being like during like the forced of that second base of the two next time while Gaara had basically without showing any mercy like had taken the life of that it's just like after seeing that fight of Gaara like might have totally straight away taken and seen Gaara as like a potential threat in like the potential serious threat for in like the climax. That's definitely not looking for another. So like since then like might have already paid like absolute like attention towards like Gaara. So like I'm considering badly since then wanting to know like how exactly Gaara's powers works like and might have wanted to know more and more about like Gaara's power. So like definitely eventually definitely and that's after like finding out that like third case of the two next time would also be like a tournament like those type of things. At that point, definitely might not only been thinking that it might have been calculating that with the scenario where like might have been pretty confident in himself that basically might not only currently would be thinking the eventual scenario in which like will be having to like will be making it all the way to like the finals and at that point will be like currently only between the person to like make it to like the finals will be precisely Gara and another remaining two next candidate. So like that would be what will be thinking. So like definitely but only thinking along the lines of like definitely eventually I will have to like face off against like Gara. So like I'm going to would be totally seeing Gara as like the current ultimate threat among like the candidates in the extreme exam. So like might badly want to know how Gara's powers work so that like by the time will be facing off against Gara, you'll be able to like plan out a counter strategy using like insect powers. It's definitely my person pretty interesting. So like so like my personal impression that like what might have done might have been might have only sent one of its like buffs to like precisely where to precisely where like Tamari and Kankuro were interacting. It's definitely not the impression precisely because like they are like the sand village ninjas who are part of like Gaara. So like and also I think to make something like I'm just not bring because of that like might have possibly to learn more about the and like power might have only sent one of the select path to where like Tamari and Shikamaru were and that might be how precisely like right now has figured out about like some of the like Tamari as well as like uh, Tamari as well as like Kankuro having like basically like the sand village like having some sort of a plan behind like it's definitely my personal interesting. So like I'm considering right now what like the and that like information, practical information about them hiding some sort of a plan, family is hiding some sort of a plan might be currently right now seriously intriguing and making like extremely curious. It's definitely not the remember. So like right now, but to like totally play a major role in like how like the village would be like able to like defend themselves against like the ambush attack of like a combined ambush attack of like the sound as well as like the sand village. Definitely members of the game. Precisely because like right now I'm considering finding out about like some sort of plan like the sand village is hiding like I'm considering right now what would be doing next would be much like right now I'm considering sending one of his bugs to like precisely where like the sand village feature as well will be present in like the stadium, which definitely members of the and that way precisely since it's like connected to like sand village with all like in that really by sending one of its bugs to like the teacher of like the sand village, like he will be having like the actual full information as for like the plan, and as you know, possibly getting like being able to like get like the true information as to like what is that is it this plan that they are hiding through precisely like their teacher like of like the sand village. Maybe along the lines, within so like sending one of the spots to where like the teacher of the sand village would be, and basically number difference, being like the first person in like the league village to like precisely figure out about like the secret alliance of like the between like the sand village and like the sound village. It's definitely and like that and also figuring out that basically so like it would be obvious of that like if they are like most likely going to make launch an attack, and basically so like Ambassador Hayes will be like probably sending one of the bucks to where like the teacher of exam village will be, and like right then Ambassador maybe like Kabuto in his like Rainbow Black Ops form, like basically don't be interacting with like that like teacher of exam village, like the scenarios with like that like the scenario that I'm bring, but like still as well with like would be exceptional when it comes to like stealth, that basically sent by sending us that bugs towards that towards where they would be like be like gaining all that information, and basically then to play a pivotal role in basically getting that information to the Hokage. Especially when those drivers. And anyways, it's like, this only currently again in like, won't be able to like even, wouldn't be even having like the permission at all to like even meet or even talk to like the Hokage, especially when such an important next time will be taking place. So like, I'm considering, most likely getting this, passing on this information to most likely, like joining level teacher. It's like the scenario that I'm considering that female join teacher, and I'm considering are most likely getting that information to most likely the Hokage. Just like the scenario that Ambassador only contains. So like, but like Ambassador, even though by the time the Hokage would be learning of like that secret alliance of like the Sand Village with like the Sound Village, and the fact that the Sand Village has betrayed like the Leaf Village, and basically like so like the Hokage at that point would be like expecting an attack any at any time on like the Leaf Village at any point, a combined attack from like sound and sand village. The Hokage would be expecting, but like so I'm considering even though by then like it would be like time would be very short for like the leaf village to actually create like an actual full scale large scale defense against like the combined attack of like the sands and like the sound village. Still I'm considering solely due to like through like this information eventually getting to like the Hokage before the attack taking place. Like I'm considering the Hokage will be at least able to like that base only reflection or like the Hokage eventually being able to like at least like prepare like a certain level of a counter strategy of like a defense, so that like at least like even after like the attack of like the combined attack of like the Sandal Town village, like even though unfortunately referring a lot of casualties, still like the casualty like the actual like actual number of casualties, and that would have taken place had like not passed on that information of like the plan to like the Hokage. That would be like greatly minimized and reduced solely due to like Shino's like brilliant effort. It's definitely my personal theory and prediction. So like this is like the eventual scenario that I'm considered only protect and not to the remainder. Also like my personal impression right now as for like it makes the forest outside like the to an exam arena stadium, like basically the sand village even drawing like some sort of like a change to circle as well as writing down some sort of like a road. Like I'm considering it would be precisely like summon or and teleport like for the great army of like the sand village who will be currently in like the actual sand village location to to quickly like teleport them to precisely that precise forest. So like I'm considering once like that role writing will be like complete, like I'm considering one of like the like sand village ninjas like performing some sort of like unique feat. So I'm placing that scroll most likely on that like drawn out circle in like the forest, and basically they are like I'm considering in that circle like a great army of like the sand village thingy, like instantly teleporting and showing up. It's like the scenario that I'm considering about. It's definitely my personal preference. And it will be precisely due to like them prioritizing, extremely prioritizing that because of like stealth being like extremely essential and going to bring like the them even like using this like precise two-phase strategy is definitely my personal version. And since like all those great number of fan villages in just will be perfectly summoned at that precise forest covered up forest location and preparing like the legislation or being able to like even find out like straight away as like all those fan villages just would be like summoned and from like the fan village to the dense forest in right outside like the stadium arena to next stadium arena. Like the scenario that I'm remembering I'm a person during friction. Like I said, like I have lean in friction right now that like the electric attack that Sasuke is sort of using right now. Also, I think that would in actuality will be like the one of like the most popular attacks of the Jutsu attacks of like Kakashi. But in my person during which Daisensei even Daisensei might be only afraid of it. It should be like that one of that ultimate popular jutsu of Kakashi, which like Daisensei even to this very day might have never been able to like or defeat against or it's definitely my legendary ambition. So like my legendary ambitions were like how what Kakashi might have done might have been definitely that Kakashi might have totally blocked like and most of the ambitions and like especially in the case of like an actual performance the when a jutsu is like performed in its like proper manner using like the, that's definitely not the remedy. Jutsu being performed in its like proper manner might be through using like the hand signs. Uh, when a jutsu is activated through the hand signs, like that would be when like a jutsu is like properly activated. It's definitely my personal impression. So in order for such an activation like I'm putting there is a chakra flow might be actually necessary all throughout the body. It's definitely my personal impression. So like in like but like currently in like the case of Sasuke, in the case of like the physical activation, like Lima consideration, the physical activation would be most likely different kind of way in which like some a person will be able to like use like genjutsu and ninjutsu at any part of like that person's body using like the physical activation but like and when like but like the downside would be like when a jutsu is like performed in its like through physical activation like and delivering that jutsu's like through power would be like greatly reduced. Is definitely my consideration ratio. That's like there will be that downside to the physical activation used to talk such as name against the enemy. So like what so like even like current electric attack the Sauske would be using would be like not even comparable to like the actual true strength of that precise electric attack used to that like when Kakashi performs it, it's definitely one of the range. So definitely what Kakashi might have done might have been like that precise uh, arm band that basically on arm bandage like thing on basically Sasuke's left arm and the brings Kakashi might have it might be according to Kakashi's orders like basically Kakashi might have put that onto like Sasuke's left arm to like precisely block like the chakra flow through in that area precisely so that like precisely like when Sasuke performs this like with the precise intent to like eventually teach Sasuke to the physical activation so that like Sasuke will be eventually be able to like perform the physical attack. So that like at that point like the only chakra that will be used would be like only the chakra flow in that whole left arm area portion where like that precise armband, the left armband would be placed. This is definitely my personal recommendation. So that like the chakra flow would be like blocked and won't be reaching like Sasuke's neck where like Orochimaru's like mark is. So that like without like the chakra flow by Sasuke will be performing like the precise electric attack jutsu of Kakashi using like the physical activation basically at that point so that like the chakra flow won't be like at all reaching like the neck area of Sasuke and that way not the chakra flow like not making any sort of contact with like Orochimaru's mark and that way like preventing to that way prevent like Orochimaru's mark from like taking over Sasuke's body. This would be like most likely the precise strategy that Kakashi might have only used to like precisely teach Sasuke. And basically, this would be how Sasuke currently would be even using the electric tools of Blaster right now. It's definitely my personal impression. So, my personal impression that like if it was like instead of physical activation, if it was like this letter jutsu was activated in its like actual form, form, actual I have activated and executed in like proper form, precisely using like the hand signs. I'm going to bring then like I'm going to bring with like just a single launch of like this electric attack. Gaara's like entire like hard ball of sand barrier like basically would be like instantly destroyed. Like instantly would be able to like most likely would be able to like destroy it with just a single attack. But right now in the case of Sasuke and Pacific, solely due to like it being like activated through like most likely the weaker physical activation method like emphasis on different simply because of that like Sasuke's like electric jutsu would be a whole lot weaker than how like then it's like then it's into like pro formats only because of that and the different like it take in multiple terms of like attacking Sasuke's like attacking Gaara's like sand ball barrier for like Sasuke to like eventually be able to like fully destroy like that sand ball barrier of Gaara certainly 1% damage and by then like it will be like giving like more than enough time for Gaara to like complete his like ultimate sand spirit sand transformation giant sand spirit transformation will do definitely will do the region and that being like the major point that will be most likely ensuring like Sasuke not being able to like defeat Gaara. It's also definitely losing the impression. Also like my losing the impression that like it wouldn't just be this electric attack alone that like Sasuke will be able to like use for this like left champions. Definitely also my losing the impression. Sasuke and different using like the this physical activation method that Kakashi would have taught Kakashi taught like Sasuke and in the past month, like I'm referring like Sasuke using the physical activation method, like currently will be able to like use all of like the current processing jutsu that Sasuke currently possesses, like all of that jutsu Sasuke will be able to like currently perform, but only using just his single left arm. But also with like all those jutsu not being able to like be used at their maximum full potential, but still I'm only due to like the training that Kakashi would have given Sasuke, like technically Sasuke by now would be able to like still even with like all the jutsus of Sasuke like having their powers weakened like still solely due to like the training of Kakashi like that those powers might have by now only rose to like superior levels of strength than how powerful they were like the last time Sasuke had used those jutsu before Sasuke getting the master of Orochimaru. It's definitely my personal reaction. Also, since according to my personal impression, I'm personally referring like that, like the physical activation method of like performing jutsu would be like a weaker form of like performing any jutsu is what I'm also referring to. Precisely because of that, like it would also have like two downfalls. Like I'm also referring one downfall would be like the physical activation performing of any jutsu having like that way causing that jutsu to like not be able to like attain its like actual true potential or power. And the second downside would be like the person using that physical activation method to like perform any jutsu won't be able to like maintain that jutsu attack for like even for would be only able to like maintain that like jutsu for like a very short time before that jutsu straight away runs off. It would not be able to like control and maintain that jutsu for like a very short time. It's definitely my personal career. Before that, jutsu would be like shutting off, and basically once again like that person would be able to like once again like reactivate like using like the physical activation method and that to practice like jutsu and once again perform it like the next time. It's definitely my personal career. So like I'm considering like the time limit would be very less when a person uses like a physical activation that to like basically launch any jutsu so precisely because of that reason, like I was referring guys and say even talking about like physical activation method being the reason for like attacking like increasing Sasuke's fear would be precisely due to this reason. Definitely members in the religion because like Sasuke would be having like very a short time on once like Sasuke activates any of Sasuke's jutsu using like the physical activation method for like Sasuke to like without much delay at all be able to like land that jutsu attack on like the opponent here Gaara before that jutsu attack like loses control and or like either shuts off right away. That's definitely my losing revision. This would be like the actual reason for like Kakashi increasing like totally like ensuring to like greatly increase like Sasuke's speed. That's definitely my losing revision. So like Sasuke could like quickly launch like activate the jutsu and like quickly land the jutsu. It's definitely my losing revision. Okay, so like definitely I'm specifically the thing to remember so right now that basically right now Sauke's like ultimate Chidori attack will be like precisely blocked by solely due to like really the getting blocked perfectly precisely and solely due to like Gaara by then at that very last moment like probably having done his like just like jutsu, long jutsu of just like Sanskrit transformation would use that Linga so like precisely as like the Chidori attack of Sauske like would be landing on like that precise like out of fall of like sand barrier like basically at that point like even within like Gaara would have started to like transform into like just like within it Gaara would have already started to transform into like ultimate a giant Sanskrit form. So like Gaara would be like the transformation would have already started and then this Gaara would have been like gotten spotted with that ultimate extremely hard and thick barrier of sand and so like my personal impression is that like it would be only on that like extremely tough sand coating that kind of like a barrier that will be precisely activated precisely as like the extremely long sand spirit transformation loop of Gaara would be completed. Would be on that like extremely tough coating that would exist within like the wall of like sand that on which would be when like on which would be precisely where like the dark case like Chidori attack would be passing through like the ball of sand barrier and only striking on that precise inner subcoating of sand as part of like Gaara's like sand transformation and hence like also the thing like Gaara's like even like not just like Chidori attack not being able to like not even create like a dent or a scratch on like that ultimate overpowered like sand spirit transformation form of Gaara, like the scenario that I was doing. So like definitely switching it into the relationship that like Sasuke launches his like Chidori attack, and then all of a sudden like Sasuke being totally shocked at basically absolutely nothing even happening. Basically like right then I was separating like the outer ball like totally crumbling, outer like ball like sand weak ball like sand barrier like at that point crumbling and basically at that point with the crumbling of that ball like sand barrier like revealing the true situation to like Sasuke and like the entire of the crowd as like that ultimate inner tough coating of like sand barrier like basically of like Gaara transformation like blocking that attack and basically like right then itself like Sasuke Gaara being blown Sasuke away and Sasuke like getting thrown away by the impact of like the transformation of like transformation of Gaara that will be taking place at that very second. It's like the scenario that I'm literally putting right now and my person very much. Okay, so like definitely was the impression right now for like the Katsukage, like not only totally looking forward to like Sasuke to like Uchiha Sasuke's like battle against like Gaara. And out of that like right now with like Sasuke's like Chidori attack even passing through like the tough ball of like sand. Basically straight away like the Katsukage even being like happy and even saying like excellent work with the precisely due to like the Kasuga being such an extreme villain that basically who desperately even to the present day desperately desires the death of Gaara even more than anything is definitely my personal relationship because like even while like the so that will be like that extreme villain of the Kasuga is definitely my personal relationship even but Kasuga even prioritizes like Gaara's death even more than basically like his even more than his like whole King of the Alliance mission with like the Sound Village even failing like even way more than that and that way even saving like the uh, even saving like his Sand Village like basically even more than that like the Kasugage being like such an extreme villain that he prioritized even more than all of that like he prioritized like Gaara's death is definitely my particular impression. Oh, so like definitely something we're unboxing right now. But basically, seems like the last thing guys I would ever want to do would be to like totally pluck and constantly hype up Kakashi. And things are not putting guys I would be absolutely genuine about like Kakashi being able to like cut lightning. Just definitely my personal using like it's like lightning blade Chidori technique is definitely my personal impression. And so like that would also totally mean that basically the technique of Chidori precisely maybe it might definitely it won't be like as fast when Sasuke currently uses it Chidori, but like when Kakashi actually uses Chidori, like I'm considering it will be so fast that basically it will be even faster than lightning. It's definitely my personal impression. It will be faster and it would be like stronger than lightning that basically he will be able to like using those that technique and that he will be actually able to like cut lightning. It's definitely my personal impression. Okay, so like that definitely my personal impression right now would like it's being revealed that Kakashi is like Chidori has like the speed like that surpassed any human limitation there is yet like for this very same Kakashi, the fact that this very same Kakashi wasn't even able to like capture Kabuto in that indoor room. Basically, Kabuto was like standing next to like Sasuke, like to like the veteran Sasuke. Like basically, maybe that might have solely due to like Kakashi not even using his like Chidori at that point to like bring down Kabuto at that precise moment. Might be solely due to like Kakashi possibly wanting to like feeling a bit of sympathy towards Kabuto, uh, even though at that point it might have been revealed to Kakashi that basically Kabuto is like secretly allied to like Orochimaru. Still, I'm not sure about the thing. Since like Kabuto was like a two exam candidate, and maybe due to like Kabuto's case, like basically and maybe like Kakashi might know of like Kabuto's connection to like that process, like to like the whole past war of like the league that took place I think in like the League of Legends. But maybe like Kakashi might have totally felt like a tiny bit of empathy towards Kabuto and might have been back then like Kakashi might have been trying to like catch up Kabuto rather than like assassinate Kabuto. It's definitely my ordinary impression. So like maybe that might be the sole reason like Kakashi might be like well and fully aware that he uses this Chidori against like if he had used this like Chidori against like Kabuto back then like Kakashi won't be able to like stop himself from taking Kabuto's life. So like Kakashi might have not wanted that and basically Kakashi might have instead wanted to like capture Kabuto. So like maybe this might be the sole reason for Kakashi not using Chidori, especially when like the situation was like extremely advantageous to Kakashi with like Kabuto being in like a small indoor room, uh, basically, and all that. Like so solely because of like Kakashi not wanting to like take Kabuto's life, but like instead wanting to like capture Kabuto might be the sole reason for like Kakashi back then not using his Chidori and hence like Kabuto being able to like escape from Kakashi back then. It's definitely my personal impression. Yes, so like my personal impression right now is that like when Kakashi said like the past day is like a lot like Kakashi like at that point personally on different thing like what Kakashi might have actually meant might have been like exactly like how Kakashi's left arm is like the arm that have all this like ultimate speed and power speed that like surpasses like all human limitations and with which like Kakashi like uses Chidori and everything like this. When it, at the right time for Kakashi and considering Kakashi might have straight away sense like maybe like the very first time that Kakashi might have even seen Sasuke as like Sasuke was as like again it had basically like Kakashi had showed up as like a two personalities like Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. At that very moment itself, like in like the very first training itself, like Kakashi might have already sensed and might have already figured that basically that Sasuke is a lot like Kakashi when it comes to like this like one of like Sasuke's arms like basically having like the very same kind of like potential that will be able to like master Chidori eventually be able to like master Chidori exactly like Kakashi. Might have been what Kakashi might have figured out even way back then. It's definitely might have been the range. So like only the difference will be when it comes to like in Kakashi's case when like the Chidori Kakashi only able to like execute this like ultimate Chidori attack only using like a right arm. But during like the case of Sasuke, like Sasuke would be only able to like execute his like Chidori attack on his like left arm. Because like in the case of Kakashi, like his like right arm would be like the arm that have that exceptional human limitations like breaking speed. But in the case of Sasuke, like I'm considering it will be just like Sasuke's like left arm that will be having like the potential to like basically break all eventually like the bit of break all like human limitations. Instead of speed, it's definitely my personal impression. Okay, so like the name and percentage impression right now as basically right now as like roughly says keep ND Sasuke solely due to like Sasuke being able to perform like the Chidori like the name and percentage impression that like roughly would be envying the fact that basically roughly wasn't born with like the privilege of like the sharing and like Sasuke. It's definitely my personal impression. Especially because like even while right now roughly even says that like he wouldn't have like the courage to even attempt like to study or even attempt like Chidori. Like considering had Rocky had like the Sharingan exactly like Sasuke, then Rocky would have definitely had like the courage to like to safely learn and study and even execute and like secured like the Chidori attack without any fear at all, precisely due to like the at that point like due to like the existence of like the Sharingan, especially being able to like to be able to like defend using solely due to like the Sharingan at that point Rocky would be able to like defend himself against like any counter attack and while after performing right after like performing like the Chidori. It's definitely my personal remembrance. So like the sole actual like reason for like Rocky even it would be like not at all. Like the only thing that Rocky would be currently envying when it comes to like Sasuke would be like the sole fact that they really, but Rocky won't be able to like comprehend that like what exactly is it that he's like actually envying in Sasuke. Like Rocky would be totally thinking that like Sasuke is like totally better than Rocky, but in actuality, like Sasuke won't be actually better than Rocky. Like it would be only due to like the privilege of like the Sharingan that Sasuke was born with. So like also definitely one person that I'm remembering right now is that basically right now as like hopefully even NB Sasuke have currently having like attained like almost like the same level of speed as Rock Lee just within like a short 1 month period like really like what Rock Lee might would be not at all realizing would be that like, his like ultimate guidance their teacher is like it's actually because not because Sasuke is like better than Rock Lee but like solely because of like this like Rohit like ultimate teacher guys and say not being nowhere near being as good as like Kakashi as like a teacher. It's definitely my person to remember. It's like had Kakashi instead of my person theory that like had Kakashi been the teacher of like Rohit, then with like Rohit's like extreme dedication that even far surpasses like any other candidate participating in between exam like Rohit had like roughly being trained by Kakashi in this like exact 1 month period instead of like Sasuke. I don't think their impression that like roughly would have attained speeds that are far superior, far extremely superior to the current speed in which like Sasuke moves in right now. Uh, within just that exact short 1 month period, like roughly would have only attained that had Kakashi had thought roughly. It's definitely my consideration. And this would be one thing roughly would be totally unable to like comprehend or realize solely due to his like extreme love and affection towards like guys and say. It's definitely my personal theory and question. Oh, so like definitely not looking to them right now. But even though like the sand create number of calculations just have correctly gathered like process and are well and fully done with like the whole corporation like and have gathered like right outside like the boundaries of like the legal age like and was preparing for like and are ready to like attack anytime like and was still like them Orochimaru precisely giving the order to precisely delay the their whole intended attack time period. It's definitely my personal immersion. So like I'm preferring like Orochimaru to totally give the order to like especially delay that back. It's like the scenario that I'm posted on the button right now. And that way I'm going to think definitely Sasuke will be losing to Gaara and basically then like Naruto like I'm considering definitely Naruto to actually only get that but like Gaara defeating Sasuke definitely Naruto only defeating having a battle against Gaara in like the second phase of the second round of the tournament that Naruto defeating Gaara and Naruto advising Gaara and Naruto basically like proving that way to be stronger than Sasuke and like I'm considering it would be only such to that extent of things happening, it would be only after that, like that I'm totally not everything for like Orochimaru finally deciding that it's time to like make this move. And it would be only after that like Naruto was just like Gaara fight will be over with Naruto defeating Gaara. That I'm totally not everything without at that point without much delay I'm gonna say because but I don't know at that point that I'm totally not everything for like Sand Orochimaru to give the order that's fine and basically the Sand village around like the Sound village like attacking like the Lee village only happening only at that point is definitely my picture and so like right now definitely I'm personally protecting like their whole each at that time to be like delayed by Orochimaru is definitely not in the intention. And also according to my personal intention like I'm talking also thinking like Orochimaru definitely making like the decision to like delay like the attack attack on like the League village, and I'm considering maybe like it's totally also having to do with like basically Sasuke's current battle against Gaara. where like according to like precise like pre-planned like attack, like they might have been totally planning on this precisely initially might have totally planned on initially like precisely uh, attacking and quickly affecting Sauske during Sauske's match against Gaara. And hence, like definitely, like the Amber Black Ops who's in like who's like present within like the stadium arena, who will be definitely be planning on playing the main role in like affecting Sauske. It's definitely my person to range. Who will be definitely like attempt. It's definitely my person to range. So like he would be like the first person that like would be precisely reporting back to like Orochimaru that things are not going according to plan. And I'm preparing like what would be totally like breaking all of their expectations would be precisely Gaara basically revealing of like ultimate giant fan spirit from power, which definitely my preparation. Precisely because I'm preparing right now I'm delivering like the Satya thing that with this Chidori, he has thrown down Gaara. I'm delivering like right now, it's like Gaara to like pull out, break out of like the half sand ball, uh, which is like ultimate like sand spirit transformation, giant transformation, especially my considering. So like at that point, like I'm delivering maybe even like the undo black of allied henchmen of like undo black of henchmen of like Orochimaru who might have been only patiently waiting to like right then itself like about to like basically affect Sauske. You would be as well would be totally shocked at seeing like Gaara's like ultimate powerful giant and spirit form that basically you'd be like straight away recording that to like Orochimaru, the unexpected events to like Orochimaru. So that like at that point even that and Black Ops 10 pen of Orochimaru would be like on seeing like the ultimate powerful like giant and spirit form of Gaara, like when maybe that and the Black Ops kinsman of Orochimaru as well, totally being like scared and totally not being like confident enough that basically that to basically precisely approach him to like that middle of the that fight and basically because like at that point to precisely solely to have that subject that basically in that process like he might not only fail but he might also die by like the overall new strength of like the giant benefit form of Gaara. Maybe what the scenario that I was reporting, like him fearing in such a manner and him basically reporting that about like Gaara's like ultimate giant and spirit to like Orochimaru. So at that point, Orochimaru was likely taking the decision to like basically delay the abduction of Sasuke with like the scenario that unfolded on different. So that way Orochimaru deciding not to make his move and then those different even though I'm considering that definitely Orochimaru would be like at some other location like the Leaf Village right now precisely like they would be like totally planning on like Orochimaru like the strategy would be to like precisely trick like the entirety of like the Leaf Village into thinking that like Orochimaru sort of like by precisely abducting and attacking like the stadium arena thing that basically and that way to like it's just like the joint level teachers and all of gathered in like the stadium arena to like that way catch all of them and distract all of like the main even the Hokage as well for example like the stadium arena to distract all of them into like the happening into like the attack of like the allied sound and sand village ninjas in like the stadium and that way it's like distract them there while Orochimaru would be at totally a different location in like the League Village and will be planning on like taking advantage that way of that cause distraction to like potentially for Orochimaru to like simultaneously make us move on like potentially stealing whatever it is that will be that a rare item that will present and locked and kept within the League Village, which will look precisely what Orochimaru wants to steal. It's definitely my personal interesting. Specifically, my personal interesting could be either like a Forbidden Scroll that would have like some sort of an ultimate powerful ability, or like it would be some extremely rare item that would like totally be extremely advantageous like and beneficial to Orochimaru in like the future. It's definitely my personal interesting. Be either one of those things is definitely my personal interesting. So this would be like the first strategy that Orochimaru would be planning. It's definitely my personal interesting. So like then while like stealing of the items would be like extremely important for Orochimaru, but like simultaneously also like it's what even abduction of Sasuke as well would be like extremely like important for Orochimaru as well. So it's definitely my personal interesting. So like things like I'm preparing like right now for like right to transform into like orthod giant sand spirit form like and that causing like the and go black ops member to like totally loses confidence in being like able to like affect us there at that point like I'm preparing like for tomorrow totally gives the order to precisely to that and the Black Ops member to like precisely report to like the simulation industry like delay the attack and basically that way like Orochimaru and his like men and basically simulation industry the simulation industry like all of them they're basically waiting for like Gaara's battle against like Sasuke to be over so that like or after that like or will be when like Orochimaru would be planning on giving his order to like the attack Sasuke potentially because like Orochimaru would be like at that point after hearing the report from like that and the Black Box henchman of like Orochimaru would be like Orochimaru would be totally having a feeling that basically Sasuke would be definitely not relying and like Orochimaru that way through the report would be finding out that it is Sasuke fought so far without even relying on like the mark powers of Orochimaru. So Orochimaru would be totally having a feeling that Sasuke would be definitely losing that fight with like serious injuries. So like that way, like it being like favorable to especially Sasuke being in such a state being favorable for like the sounds for Orochimaru and his like instrument to like certainly affect Sasuke. So like I'm considering so that way like Orochimaru deciding to like delay the abduction of Sasuke and like the stealing of that item. And I'm considering it will be precisely after like to think about the information that like so it will be precisely because of all the reasons that I'm considering like eventual scenario to be like basically Sasuke losing to Gaara and then like in like the very first match in like the round two of like the tournament, third set of the Junethan tournament being like the Naruto versus Gaara fight in which like Naruto would be defeating Gaara and precisely as Naruto would be defeating Gaara, it will precisely when Sasuke would be like undergoing treatment or like would be like badly injured and maybe even unconscious and or like badly would be most likely unconscious and badly injured and would be in like the would be undergoing treatment. They are like precisely probably at that point like basically Orochimaru making his move and basically stealing the item and the says and the black of Penpen of Orochimaru precisely infiltrating into that medical ward and precisely like abducting Sasuke simultaneously at the same time. So like what Naruto would be like Naruto would be totally shocked and confused. Precisely after like he would be like defeating Gaara and Naruto would be totally happy and joyed with like his victory over Gaara. Like at that point itself, like everything totally going into turning into like chaos. Like the entire space, like the League village turning into chaos and Naruto then hearing about like Sasuke getting abducted and basically all that. Like the total confusion totally happening precisely after like Naruto. Precisely after Naruto, soon after like Naruto will be defeating Gaara's like the scenario that is sitting on turn of the them. Also like definitely not the I'm rich right now like Naruto like emotionally and kind of like in a frustrating manner now basically thinking of like thinking so highly of like Sasuke and Sasuke and feeling threatened by Sasuke's like the sort of current sort of performance against like his fight against Gaara and everything and Naruto only thinking of basically him remembering that he wants to be a Hokage and he wants to be that he wants to defeat Sasuke and all that. Definitely even while Naruto was thinking of like definitely if suddenly a fight between Naruto and Sasuke were to happen, then it would be like exactly like kind of like in a similar situation as like the Neji versus Naruto fight, where like the opponent that Naruto would be facing off would be like Neji, while Neji was fighting against Naruto, and Neji was fighting with the extreme disadvantage, while Naruto was fighting against Neji with like the extreme advantages, with like Naruto having like the power, spirit, like that extra red chakra, like spirit. Naruto alone having like the extra red chakra, like spirit of the night and and on top of that, like Naruto, that extra red chakra giving all that extra special stamina to like Naruto alone. While on the other hand, Neji has to like fight off against Naruto. Even while Neji had the background, still Neji not being definitely won't be able to like take the definitely not being able to like take the full strength and bring out Neji's full potential solely due to like that mark of like the Hyuga, like family of the Hyuga clan being present in like Neji's forehead, which would definitely would have like greatly limited like Neji's like actual potential and that way forcefully like and in an extremely unfair manner preventing Neji from being able to like bring out his like full potential. And that way, even after like Naruto that way defeating Neji, like Naruto totally believing that he has like a totally he had basically fought up against Neji in like a fair fight and defeated Neji in a fair fight. And this would be proceeding right now in like Sasuke were and Naruto were to fight up against Sasuke and but later my position represents that would be only a re-repeat of such a scenario where like on one side Naruto once again like having all that extra red chakra and like all that extra stamina that red chakra provides and all that. While on the other hand, it's just Sasuke with just his sharing and yet like Sasuke not being able to like totally take any advantage or proper advantage at all of his like sharing it, or Sasuke like even not being able to like use any of his like jutsu at all either due to like the mark of Orochimaru. Sasuke basically having to fight at such an extreme disadvantage when Naruto once again exactly like Naruto fight against Neji, like Naruto once again and like while fighting against like Sasuke still Naruto alone getting all that special extra chakra and all that extra advantage when Sasuke having to like still once again like fight up against like Naruto with the extreme disadvantage. So like even if like Naruto right now were to like fight up against Sasuke and defeat Sasuke still like it definitely won't be a fair fight at all. It would definitely be an extremely unfair fight. And this would be one thing that like Naruto would be like due to his like extreme lack of comprehension skills would be like totally unaware and like totally would be unable to like comprehend. Especially my person become hence like Naruto would be totally naively assuming that basically he had basically defeated we have basically Neji and Sasuke are all fighting with like the same level of like like equal situation as Naruto, while Naruto only being unable to like understand that Naruto alone have that extreme special advantage when compared to the rest. Well, even Neji as well as even Sasuke is like basically struggling and fighting with like all that extreme disadvantage and still putting up such a great performance. Will be one thing that Naruto would be like totally unable to like comprehend the name of the animation. And that would be like the potential reason for like Naruto even thinking that basically his victory over Neji is like a huge deal, as well as like Naruto even thinking right now, even thinking in his mind that basically if he's able to like defeat like thinking along the line, like around along the line that like if he's able to like defeat Sasuke right now at like the current extreme disadvantageous situation Sasuke is in, like basically Naruto only because he's not being able to like comprehend or be able to like realize that like Naruto right now even thinking that like if right now he's able to like Sasuke defeats Gaara and basically Naruto then has a fight against Sasuke and like if then Naruto is able to like defeat Sasuke, that would be like an ultimate achievement and like an for like Naruto. Naruto even thinking similarly kind of like along such lines only to friendly due to that extreme lack of comprehension skills of Naruto, especially my person to remember. Okay, so like maybe I'm thinking remember right now with like Kanpura asking if like the perfect position of like Gaara has happened, like those bits of thing that me it might have definitely not happened at all. It's definitely not in the image. It might have only like the processing process would definitely be like the script on the Gaara might be like an extremely long process. In which like the Slack for chanting would be like a long to chanting would be definitely required with Gaara method definitely obviously might have been doing within this like ball half ball of sand. It's definitely not interesting. So like that long process might have only reached maybe like just midway or just a bit more than midway when precisely Sasuke might have totally jabbed using his like Chidori onto like that ball of sand. It's definitely not interesting. And hence that may not only interrupted like the Gaara's like perfect perfect process. It's definitely my like this and it's definitely my book. So like I'm remembering it might have been only like a partial it might have only reached like the point of like a partial purpose. It's definitely my book. So I'm remembering right now with like basically like the ball of sand like breaking down and basically it's revealing Gaara in his like normal self. Like I'm remembering still and that was my position remembers that like it might have been precisely due to like the possession process reaching its like partial stage part like reaching like the point of like a partial possession might be the process reason for like that giant sand basically like uh, appearing out of like the ball of sand is definitely not the remedy. That might have been precisely like the result of like the possession process reaching its like partial stage is definitely not the remedy. But like with like the interruption like it might have easily submerged itself it might have like kind of it's definitely my person to yet like I'm they're only parting definitely like at least like chanting that whole jutsu to support and if that chanting reaching in the partial process might certainly have like an extreme important impact in like the current situation. It's definitely not the direction. So like even though currently Gaara has been injured like by Sasuke's like Chidori and Chidori thing because of like Gaara, solely because of like Gaara even reaching like the chanting to like the to at least midway or like just more than midway of like the position. And but you're referring that totally having like an impact in that enabling Gaara to basically partially possess like the Sanskrit. And like Gaara totally having like a partial Sanskrit possession transformation right now without much delay at all. It's definitely members implement. And even like the partial possession transformation of like the Sanskrit of like Gaara, that power that Gaara would be gaining at that point itself would be like proving more than enough for Gaara to be able to like totally not only defeat but like totally crush Sasuke. It's definitely a person very much. But like I'm also once again like process just and I'm also for that attack only sending Sasuke unconscious to definitely the scenario that I was made. On top of like Sasuke being badly injured, like Sasuke will be also going unconscious by like the extreme attack of powerful attack of like the partial spirit possession power of Gaara. It's definitely the scenario that I'm vociferating. But still, I'm vociferating like even for Sasuke will be going unconscious, like getting defeated and going unconscious. Even then, I'm vociferating Gaara, still pushing forward and basically still trying to like using his powers, still trying to like take Sasuke's life. But like at that very last second, I'm so narrowly praying this time it will be precisely Kakashi that will be like showing up into like the ring. And like I'm also putting like either Kakashi himself like showing up into the ring and stopping Gaara. And that way, like due to that, the Kakashi showing up into the ring, like Sasuke straight away considered as like not only lost but also like disqualified from like the whole official important student exam match. So definitely the scenario of like one person that I'm delivering or like I'm delivering before like Sasuke uh, Sasuke going unconscious and basically defeated and unconscious and like still Gaara trying to like attack and take the life of like Sasuke. But like right before that, like the moment Sasuke would be going unconscious, like I'm delivering like the referee totally declaring that Gaara is like the winner. But like Gaara would be totally not having any control over himself and would be like at that point would be still trying to like take Sasuke's life. So like along with like the referee's life as well. It's like the scenario that I'm referring. So like maybe at that point I'm referring like Kakashi to like really show up. And basically maybe just most likely it would be just Kakashi by himself like showing up and basically with just Kakashi's like right arm. Like it would be definitely Kakashi's like strongest arm would be like Kakashi's like a right arm. It's definitely one of the rebels. So like with Kakashi's right arm, Kakashi blocking away that Kakashi is only blocking away that attack of Gaara. It's like the scenario that I was like either Kakashi just by using his like right arm alone or like covering his like right arm with his like Kakashi covering his like right arm with his like Chidori power. Kakashi's Chidori power and basically with that like Kakashi was casually like blocking away like the sand powered like attack of like Gaara. And basically that totally like with that like basically Gaara like snapping out of it and basically like Gaara leaving the stage. It's like the scenario that I was referring, but like the referee totally still declaring forgiving Gaara and like still declaring Gaara as like the winner. And Gaara proceeding forward. It's like the scenario that I was only protect. And my percentage emerges to be either one of these two possibilities is definitely my percentage emerges. And so like my consider impressions that like the scenario would be like it taking only like the partial possession of like this bad Sanskrit, even that alone like proving too much for like for like Sauske and Sasuke that we're losing to Gaara while considering then like to like totally like Naruto to totally like since like Naruto took the protagonist of the show like to totally that for that extreme hierarchy to be formed between like the strengths and powers between like Naruto and Sasuke at the point when Naruto will be fighting off eventually against like Gaara while in that fight, I'm only putting Gaara totally bringing out this like perfect full possession, Sanskrit possession, and Gaara totally and only at that point that fully converting and basically transforming into its like ultimate giant Sanskrit form and get like Naruto totally overpowering and defeating the full perfect possession Sanskrit form, giant Sanskrit form of Gaara, and that way like Naruto basically that extreme hierarchy between Naruto and Sasuke's strength being formed in such a manner. It's like in the scenario that I'm talking about putting in my percentage impression. Also like my percentage impression right now with like one effect and with like also like putting like a random person to sleep and a person to like that and the black of member will be precisely Definitely, like a henchman of Orochimaru is definitely using Rengoku. The precise Jutsu he would be using would be to like precisely possess like the body of that precise random person. That's definitely my person to remember for that ultimate stealth, so that like as that random person like that henchman of Orochimaru should like totally move around without gaining like any sort of attention, without attracting like the attention of anyone. Especially because like as like an Andrew Black of member, he was like he Raboski would be right now planning on doing that, and the Black was henchman of like Orochimaru, what he might be right now planning on doing that. What like the first thing that we will be right now planning on doing would be requiring that extreme stealth and like since like as like an Andrew Black Ops member, even as with like the discovery with like that Black Ops member, he would be like attracting a lot of attention. Like because of that reason, like he might not only decided to basically select the body of like one of like the random person elected around it and name and the investment and about the only thing like for him to like basically yet like for this very same person henchman of like Orochimaru to like decide to like infiltrate into like the arena as like an so with like the guys of like Danbo like us and those different things. It might have to do with like something else, like it might have to do with like him actually wanting to like infiltrate him, genuinely wanting to like infiltrate into like the stadium arena as like an Anbu Black Ops member, simply because like at that point he might have had something to like gain by like taking the disguise of precisely an Anbu Black Ops member. It's definitely my personal reference. So he might have done something during that time, something some unrevealed thing during that time by misusing like the position of like an Anbu Black Ops member. Just disguise he was in at that point. It's definitely my personal way and person. Okay, so like definitely my personal way and person right now is that like fake and the black ops member like him basically putting like the entirety of like the trying to put like the entirety of like the crowd to sleep right now. I'm considering maybe my biggest plan might be to like basically I'm considering like all of the to basically put all the not would be not to like put all the crowd to like actually sleep, but like I'm considering like once they would all be falling asleep, like basically he would be able to like precisely simultaneously control all of them. It's definitely my personal impression. Remote control all of them. It's definitely my personal impression. So to create like a chaos like situation by like getting controlling all of that then that the crowd of like the crowd to basically entering into like the middle of the battlefield as like the whole Gaara of the fight will be going on like I'm considering that way to like create like a total confusion and chaos like situation in which like in such a situation for like precisely that and go black ops like precisely it's like since there's like a huge number of crowd especially since, like because it's like the fight of like the Uchiha clan like Sauske like the bring like the crowd would be like way larger than usual for like this battle this precise battle between like Sauske and Gaara. So like I'm going to totally take advantage of all that huge crowd by precisely controlling all of the huge crowd and getting them into like all of the huge crowd into like filling into like the battlefield with like Sasuke versus Gaara battle. So that like that way that create that ultimate confusion and to totally take advantage of that confusion for like the Andrew Black Ops to like right then in like the middle of that huge crowd to like enter into like the battlefield and precisely trying to for like him to like try to like stealthily that way be able to like abduct Sasuke and get away with like Sasuke might be his plan. Most definitely might be like the plan of like the Andrew Black Ops member who would be like precisely actually like the henchman of Orochimaru. It's definitely my personal impression. Okay, so like that name I'm very interested right now is that like the Kazgage would be like right now not even expecting to be able to like take on and also and defeat and take the life of like the old man Kazgage in like a one versus one battle. Especially my personal interest because like especially since it's like already been revealed that basically the Kazgage even in like the recent past has basically tried multiple times to take the life of Gaara and failed. Of even Gaara and failed. Like so like I'm just only the old man Hokage would be at least on the would be definitely more stronger than even Gaara when Gaara is in like his like full perfect perfect form spirit and spirit form is definitely not significant. Even like the old man Hokage will be able to defeat that perfect perfect like giant and spirit form of Gaara. Definitely my personal reaction though. Like especially since Kazekage could even defeat Gaara, like I'm talking only bring Kazekage Katsuya is confident while sitting next to like the old man Hokage. So Katsuya is like still betray the old man Hokage while sitting next to like the old man Hokage. Is that confidence or like rather or confidence is it only coming from like precisely all of it like sand village ninjas like showing up to like the arena and those different those great number of sand village and ninjas would have totally along with like a bunch of sand village and just might have totally gathered like especially in the sand village just might have actually gathered like right near to like the old man Hokage and like Hafigage might be right now. In it's definitely sitting in it's definitely my personal realm. So like that would be like the sole reason for like the confidence of like the Hafigage that is this Hafigage is only betting on like all of them collectively right now quickly attacking like the old man Hokage and along with them like Hafigage may be totally having like the confidence to basically while like Hokage would be having all of them like together simultaneously attacking like the whole man Hokage for like Hokage to like also join in on that attack and basically possibly being able to like take the life of old man Hokage. So we what like Hokage would be like totally thing right now is and planning is definitely thing right now is definitely my personal dream. But definitely my personal impressions that like no matter how many like sand villages right now would be like attacking like Dorman over here along with like the Kalpika as well. I'm preferring like Dorman over here definitely being a whole lot stronger that he definitely I'm preferring to not die by the hands of a bunch of sand villages in the of like the Kalpika attacking together. It's definitely my personal impression. Definitely sticking into my personal impression that like the old man Hokage's that would definitely be happening during this very attack where like Orochimaru will be making his move, but like I'm preparing like the old man Sukake life only to be taken by precisely Orochimaru. Definitely I'm preparing like the old man Sukake like defeating all of them and basically eventually making it all the way up to like where Orochimaru would be. And basically then I'm preparing like an Orochimaru was like old man Hokage fight in which like it will be precisely Orochimaru that will be totally eventually overpowering and taking the defeating and taking the life of like the old man Hokage is like the eventual scenario that I'm mostly talking about in my personal and it will be currently happening during this attack of Orochimaru on like the Leaf Village, is definitely my personal favorite. So before Orochimaru will be like escaping like the Leaf Village after the attack, like the old man Hokage will be definitely die by the hands of Orochimaru. It's definitely the scenario that I'm mostly talking about in my personal well, like definitely my personal impression right now that like Kabuto might have right now totally betrayed like Orochimaru by especially giving like the port signal right now when in actuality according to like the process orders given to Orochimaru like I'm remembering like Kabuto should have given like the signal of like putting like the audience to sleep not right now but like at like a later point certainly my so like Kabuto might have totally might have totally betrayed like Orochimaru by precisely giving the signal early so that like precisely that might be exactly what Kabuto wants because like my passenger impressions are like Naruto might have totally changed after like spending time with like Naruto. I was thinking like Naruto's kind heart and might have totally rubbed off on Kabuto and basically Kabuto might have by now like changed to like kind of like a different person. So like I was becoming Kabuto realizing and shockingly realizing that Orochimaru plans on abducting Sasuke like a so different thing. Kabuto might have had like a change in his mind and maybe like Kabuto might have totally by now might have totally changed that like Kabuto right now might be trying to like basically destroy like the whole that Orochimaru's like plan and everything and basically in order to do that like Kabuto might have right now decided to like precisely like give like the signal at like an earlier time and that way to like totally destroy like the perfect timing of like the signal and all that and Orochimaru's plan and all that and about the bring like chip that it's solely due to Kabuto alone that Kabuto given the signal alone that basically like the adaptive like the sound village as well as the sand village are right now attacking like the leaf village and personally bring definitely precisely because of that like I'm also bring like Kabuto as well right now even giving the signal early would be also like I totally think along the lines of like his abilities like Kabuto has given the signal early according to my consideration. So like so because of that like Orochimaru would be like the likelihood of Orochimaru being able to like bring down and destroy like the Leaf Village would be a lot less because of the lack of coordination happening solely due to like the earlier signal giving of like specifically Kabuto certainly my consideration and Kabuto might have also strategized to like precisely president and figured out a plan to like precisely affect Sasuke, but like update Sasuke and make a team as in like Kabuto's like only acting according to like Orochimaru's plan. In actuality, Kabuto might be trying to like abduct Sasuke to make it famous like Kabuto's abducting Sasuke to precisely that way ensure like the escape and safety of Sasuke that way and trick all of them. It might be like Kabuto's plan. It's also the same as in Dragon Ball. So like precisely because of this reason like I'm different like Kabuto most likely having like a continuity of theory because of like Kabuto having most likely betrayed Orochimaru like the flame was most likely it won't be Orochimaru, but like I'm also trying Orochimaru to totally have this like original, even though Orochimaru always will be the says like Kabuto's like Orochimaru's the right hand man. The Orochimaru will be definitely having his like original actual right hand man, and he will be like an exceptionally strong ninja. And then also bring definitely distancing to my person that like it will be that ninja actual right hand man ninja of Orochimaru that will be precisely finding Kabuto like Kabuto will be trying to like get Sasuke to like escape and get the safety and just really that at that point like him being confronted by that right hand man of actual right hand man of Orochimaru and then Kabuto was like that right hand man fight taking place in which like that right hand man of Orochimaru taking Kabuto's like just like the scenario that I was doing and then he would be like totally abducting and getting away with like Sasuke and joining up later on joining up with like Orochimaru as like they both definitely be making their escape out of like the village eventually. This is definitely the scenario that I'm looking right now in the also like definitely my particular memories right now is that like even though like Shikamaru and Naruto as well have basically fallen under like the Jutsu spell of and have fallen asleep like and those different skill just like Naruto said the protagonist like and those different thing Naruto getting a whole lot of spotlight in like the middle of this like entire attack of like Orochimaru and like this and everything like it's like the all throughout like this attack like Naruto getting a lot of spotlight is definitely like the scenario that I'm looking for so like for all that happened, definitely it was a scenario that I was everything is definitely Naruto, even though Naruto and Shikamaru are right now fast asleep. Like I'm remembering like the third chapter 19 box totally like within Naruto totally waking Naruto up like so solely because of like the fifth of like the 19 box that's sitting within Naruto Naruto being able to like wake up but like in the case of Shikamaru and considering maybe like Naruto waking up and Naruto then waking up Shikamaru as well and Shikamaru waking up. That's like one possibility that I'm remembering. Or like this like a sleeping spell, sleeping jutsu spell would be like so extremely powerful that like even while Naruto would be waking up and Naruto would be trying to wake up Shikamaru still. Shikamaru would be like extremely like the power due to the power of that jutsu like sleep jutsu like Shikamaru still not waking up even after like Naruto trying to just like wake up Shikamaru. But this is like the least like this scenario that I'm about to bring up. So without much delay, I'm deliberating for like Naruto to wake up. Just get to the 19th of waking Naruto up, and basically as Naruto will be waking up, Naruto will be waking up straight away waking up Shikamaru as well. And then I'm going to be like the duo of Naruto and Shikamaru that will be like Shikamaru strategizing like along with like and giving out all the strategies to like Naruto and the different and with like Naruto's trying to like bring them to like a combined duo like teamwork of Shikamaru and Naruto happening in the middle of this attack and Naruto obviously getting as like the protagonist getting a lot of spotlight and Shikamaru as well definitely getting a certain level of spotlight. It's like the scenario that I'm mostly interpreting as for like this uh, as for like some of like the main happenings in like this is what is definitely another impression.